cul, ça blesse, ça flingue. Hey, 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 bro.
Quavo, lifestyle on camera, $100,000 chandelier. They tried to turn me to an animal, but white people think I'm radical. Supermodels think I'm handsome. You might think I'm too aggressive, but really I think I'm too passive. Till I pull out the chopper, start blasting.
All the singles, straight up, throw it up. Watch it fall and drop. Round and round and go. Strut, strut it out. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Pray for me, I'm about to hit the yay button. I don't wanna say nothing wrong, but it'd be wrong if I ain't say nothing. Imagine if I ain't say something, when none of niggas say nothing. I done lost and made money, now I'm making something they can't take from me. And I'm fresh out of debt in this motherfucker, and they still ain't ready yet for a motherfucker. Yeezy might have to go and put his Louis on. I'm about to go Gucci in a Gucci store.
Fresh out the beds in this motherfucker, and they still ain't ready yet for a motherfucker. Gucci mine, and I'm about to put my Yeezys on. Now that Gucci home is over for you Gucci clones.
1500, all the singles, straight up, throw it up. Watch it fall and drop. Round and round and go. Strut, strut it round and go. Champions, we run the city. Number one, they falling from the top.
They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Kingdom, king me, checkmate then repeat. This chestnut checkers, what can I say? I got goat jeans. Real kings do king things. Live like one, breathe like one, killing shit by any means. Everybody can't lead like one, nah. Is it really me? Gotta check and see my legacy like royalty, and I act like it. If you know, better act like it. Look at me now, they can't hold me down. So give me the crown. They say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Say I walk like a king, talk like a king. You can act around now, say the same thing. They chasing the fame, they all want the name, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Kings for a long stretch, no limousine. If you talking winners, gotta intervene. I'm the biggest one of those you ever seen. I'ma need a crown. I'm the only one that ever held it down at the tip top. People flip flop every day, not I. Top 5, I'm a big shot. I'm the one that wanna take the big shots. Big balls, big rings, big rocks, big bag, big moves, big cars, big man, big plan. Get lost, we've been this wrong. Look at me now, they can't hold me down. So give me the crown. It must be a thing. It must be the poise that silence the noise. It must be the heart that sets me apart. It must be the game that gave me the name. It must be the truth, I could be the proof. It could be the chain, it might be the shoes. They watching my moves, they chasing the fame, but they ain't got what's running through these veins. Make way for the king. Wait for the king. We're not the same, we're not the same. We're not the same, we run everything.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of Arkansas King Football. We are live in the City of Colleges, Conway, Arkansas, at Young Wise Memorial Stadium on the Crafton Faulkner Field on the campus of Hendrix College. Thank you all for tuning in to this Natural State Sports Network production of TLC Football. I'm Chris Gay, your play-by-play commentator. This is Will Stafford, your color analyst. And Will, the rain just passed north of us.
Yeah.
And it held out at the very least long enough so we can have some football on this Saturday evening. And this is our first Arkansas King broadcast.
I'm excited.
So I am too. Well, we have the honorary captains heading out onto the field for the coin toss. Well, taking a look at your Kings, they are 1-0 on the season after a forfeit win at War Memorial Stadium against the Arkansas Tigers. And it's the Tigers' home stadium, and I don't know if they just didn't show up or didn't have enough players. I don't know, but they forfeited, so the Kings start out the season with the victory. And now the Tigers, back-to-back TLC champions, winning in 2023 and 2024. So this is definitely a great matchup about to take place here at Crafton Faulkner Field.
And just like I was telling you just before, some players took the field and everything. Man, I love this gold-plated, gold plate on black uniform look. It looks absolutely, it's beautiful, to be honest. Like I absolutely love it. Obviously, it's not something that you would see like on the professional level or anything like that, but in this case, man, I absolutely love the look. And that yellow and blue reminds me of the Rams for the Tigers.
It does look really good. I totally agree with you. Well, for what I can see, here are the honorary captains for your Arkansas Kings. On the far left is tight end Don Bone. Next to him is wide receiver Jamal Mosby, number 0. Then there's, to the right of him, if I can see correctly, that is number 24, Greg Brooks, outside linebacker. And then it's going to be number 21, Terrell LaHirse, starting running back. Then Philip Blackman, one of the quarterbacks on this roster. Along with Demaji Newman, one of the starting defensive ends for the Kings. And I think I missed one more. Yep, there is one more. It's Adrian Sparks, the starting left tackle for the Kings. And I can't tell for the time being until they move, but the honorary or maybe not the honorary captains, but the captains, nonetheless, for the Tigers. Again, the L.A. Tigers, coming up from Shreveport, Louisiana. Do believe the Kings will receive the ball to start the game. And the Tigers will kick off. So it looks like the captains for the Tigers, number 4, A.J. Jefferson, number 18. Oh, I don't have an 18, excuse me. Number 22, Rashawn Heath. And there was another.
I did see a number X.
Yeah, Marquise Richards, which this is our first, again, introduction to semi-pro football, but don't typically see letters on players' jerseys as the national anthem's currently playing right now. Won't be able to hear it as we're totally closed in here in the press box. But I will say, I've been to Hendrix College, some of their athletic. I've watched the basketball game, but I've never been to the football field, which I know that they have not had football, and they are Division III, if you're curious. They have not had college football for a while. I think they've only had this for 10 years. If I want to say that that's about right. Oh, you're looking at
something like that, yeah. I'm not sure.
You'd have to look. Oh, well, yeah, history.
Dates back to 1906.
Okay.
But has remained absent since
Since-
1960.
And then they came back from, my guess is about 10 years ago. And
Because over time, Hendrix has like grown quite. I mean, pretty big, especially around here. And you're the way you introduced us today. There was a big. I mean, this is the college town of Arkansas.
This is
the city of
absolutely right.
colleges. So we have UCA. We have University of Central Arkansas. The Bears, who have the beautiful purple and gray field,
Yeah.
which was I did learn recently that was an April Fool's joke that they made into a reality
Oh,
a
interesting.
long time ago, and
Huh.
and then they can't remove it now or they'll never get it back. So, but then you have Hendrix, and what's the
Central Baptist College.
That's what it is, because
Yeah.
it's just off. It's just near UCA as well.
Yeah, that's about right. Well, here are your Kings gracing the field. About ready to play here in just a moment. Of course, we're going to stay right here as they get stretched down, and it's the kickoff team or return team begins to head out onto the field.
The Kings are going to be in that black and gold, and the Tigers will be in that yellow and blue. So keep an eye out for the all-black team. And I will say, now you were talking a little bit about like this is our first time, seeing semi-professional football and even commentating it. But it is quite impressive. Like these are fully built teams. These are very built teams with all sorts of age ranges, skills, skill sets, and things like that. So it's going to be really interesting to see that kind of mix up between everybody. And again, this is the first actual game the Kings have been able to play in their season. So it's going to be this is going to be you could call it a test for them to understand who they are as a team for the going into the season, because they are facing against the championship-winning team in the Tigers.
Yep. Yeah, this is you're absolutely right. This is definitely a test. And who better to test against than one of the teams in the TFL as we're about ready. Okay, that's 16. I could not tell. That's Jake Thompson set to kick off for the Tigers. It'll be short kick, heads to the 20-yard line, and after fumbling it briefly, he was able to break through and pick up a couple of yards. And that was number 00, Chris Sykes, one of the defensive backs on this squad. So now the offense, led by quarterback C.J. James, heading out onto the field. Of course, your starting lineup for the Kings on the offensive side of the football. C.J. James, obviously the man making the plays. Terrell Lahirse next to him as the running back. Now there's one receiver on the left side, two on the right. Tight end in motion. James tosses. He's going up the right side. Lahirse gets the first down, if not close. And let's see where they mark him. I think that may just be a second. Yeah, it will be second down for the Kings.
But that's really good blocking by number 10, Chris Johnson, on your close side here. Wide receiver setting up towards that towards that sideline. Got a good block. Allowed the running back to be able to get those couple extra yards, because it's very easy to get this first down now. And actually,
now it's going to be a first down. They hadn't quite switched the number, but now they're working on it. Two tight ends on the left side. James looking to throw. He's going right. He's got protection and found a man. I think his foot stayed in bounds and just close to a first down, if not the first down. That was Don Bone, the Arkansas Baptist alum, getting the first down. He's a solid tight end for this squad. Of course, he plays both ways as well. I had a preseason game in late March. 38 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown, 103 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, and 3 tackles. James looking to throw. The offensive line broke down. He's going to break through. He's following his blockers. Bone with a great block, and C.J. James with another Arkansas King first down.
Goes out at the 28-yard line, understands that there is a lot of blocking on his end, and honestly, that's so far in the few plays we've seen, there's been some really good blocking by this Kings offense.
Yeah, take a look at it one more time. He went through. The line broke down for a second, and then nice block by Bone. And the athleticism of C.J. James on full display here early. Well, first downs on every play so far in this opening quarter. James stepping back. He's got to get away. He's got to get rid of it, and he did. He just kind of flicked it out of bounds, and
this Tigers defense is forcing C.J. James to have to scramble a lot, and somehow he has, up until that point, has made the most of it. Again, like you were saying, a first down on every play up until that point, so you can call that a commentator's curse, but C.J. James has been very good at relieving the pressure off of himself.
Well, Don Bone has made himself open a couple of times, getting a first down on his first reception, and got to keep an eye on Bobo Smith Jr. And actually, there was a penalty on the Kings, so it backs them up. It's going to be 2nd and long, and I'm not 100% sure what the call was, but it could have been. Could have been intentional grounding, maybe?
Will be intentional grounding, I believe.
Lahirse to the right of his quarterback, James. James looking to pass again. He's got time over the middle. Found a man open for the, not quite the first down, excuse me, is going to be the wide receiver, number 10, Chris Johnson.
A beautiful pass, perfectly placed. It's not going to quite get the first down. Now on a normal down, that is a first down.
Yeah, of course, had a lot of yardage to make up for, but now it is 3rd and manageable. Call it 3rd and 4 now with just under 12 minutes to play in this opening period. Three receivers on the right side, one on the left. Running back to the right of his quarterback is James. He'll toss. Lahirse. Not a whole lot, but it might be just enough for the first down. Let's see. No, he's going to come up just short, so the Tigers force 4th down. But I doubt. Okay.
I believe it
Excuse me.
was. I was just about to say. I believe he got it by just a couple inches.
Yeah, you're right. All right. So first down, Kings.
And we do want to. I do want to apologize on both of our behalves. It's sometimes hard to hear. Like we can't hear the whistles and things like that,
Yeah.
so we can't really call out very well sometimes. So
Yeah, a lot of stadiums, their press boxes are made to where the windows open up where you can hear the announcers. It is completely closed. So we'll manage. We'll
quite
manage.
nice in here, though.
Yeah, it is nice. James, oh, what a catch and grab, and that was a hard hit. That was Chris Johnson again with the reception. Now, I don't think he got a first down that time. Let's look at it one more time. James had plenty of time right over the middle, and Johnson took a hard hit. Oh, my. All right, well, and number 34 for the Tigers, Ronnie Harrison laying the hit. If you couldn't tell on the replay, his face mask broke off.
Oh, I did not see that.
So I think Harrison is now on the sideline somewhere.
Oh, nope. There.
Oh, now he's leaving. He probably tried to reattach it, and that's not gonna slide. But that was a hard hit that he laid. on to Johnson. I think in the NFL they might call that targeting, especially the helmet-to-helmet.
Yeah, that one
And
was pretty close to that, for sure.
we're going to have a timeout by the Tigers, the first timeout taken of the game. Of course, we will stay right here with you. Score, still scoreless with 9:50 left to play in this first quarter.
Now, they have drove down the field very, very easily, right? On that kickoff, put them on around the 30-yard line, and they've made up some really good time in just a few minutes. 15-minute quarters, the 9:50 mark, able to be about, are we inside? Yeah, we are inside the red zone already at the 11-yard line currently. So made up some really good time, and I think a lot of that can come down to C.J. James building himself some, or giving himself some, I apologize, I am very distracted on the sideline. Some dancing going on by Duante Newman. Honestly, he kind of hit it. He did. I don't know who it is, but it was this is gonna show my like young age.
Yeah.
It was a Fortnite Pros dance, and it is an emote in that game. If you play that game, you'll know. But
I'm the same age as you, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
you don't play video games.
No. Oh, yeah, I do. I've been on my Minecraft kick lately. After seeing the movie. Awful movie, by the way.
Do not.
It's an awful movie, but I recommend it to everybody. James looking. He's going to take it himself. He's going to beat him off the edge. He's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Kings.
And that was a nice little hesitation step over towards the 5-yard line. Very well played by C.J. James. He knew he had the beat on the defender and scored on it.
C.J. James, the dual threat quarterback, has perfect completion percentage so far today, and on his second rushing attempt of the evening, gets the first score for the Kings. 6-0 as the Kings ready to kick the extra point. Jacob Nichols, the linebacker, with a hold. He can't hold on to it, and he's brought down. Jacob Nichols couldn't hold on to the snap, just wasn't quite ready for it. So the Tigers, good reaction, and the score will remain 6-0.
And I'm not sure if that was a little bit of a miscommunication on the snap or what it was, but it seemed like a little too far off from Nichols' hands, and it just did not allow him to score. As we see C.J. James score again on that replay, very, very good moves around the 5-10 yard line to get in, gets tackled right over the goal line, scores easily.
Now the Kings ready to kick off here. For the Tigers, I believe that's Larry Moten back to receive. Oh,
There's a towel.
Oh,
on the
there is a
field.
towel. Well, that towel's been on the field for a while. I saw it
I did see
several
that
plays ago. So
Although we've been in the red zone for quite a while. So.
yeah, so good stoppage by the Kings. So this is Ramar Easter set to kick off here. The lefty. It's a short kick. Received by the Tigers, and great defensive play on the kickoff. Great kickoff coverage, I should say, by the Kings. I believe that was a couple of different Kings in on the tackle. But now the Tigers headed out onto the field led by quarterback Larry Moten Jr. Now, Moten, if you're a fan of the TFL, you probably know who this guy is. He's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. He is the 2024 TFL Championship MVP. Of course, one of his favorite targets has returned for another season in Shreveport. It's LaMarcus Preston on the near side in one-on-one coverage. Two receivers on the right side. Two backs in the backfield with Moten. Actually, it's going to be Moten gets the handoff. He's going up the left side, and he's going to be brought down. Got about 3 yards on the rush.
Got about 3 yards before he ran into his own man and forced him into a spin move that slowed down his momentum, allowed the Kings to catch up. That really could have been worse for the Kings, to be honest.
Cadillac Simmons there on the stop for the Kings. Will be 2nd and 7 with 8:35 left to play in the quarter. Two receivers on the right side, one on the left. Actually looks like it's number 8, Jacoby Mosley, that's been receiving the snaps. Moten, though he's a quarterback, can play some running back. He's just an elite athlete. So it's Mosley that's doing the handoff duty, and the Tigers don't get anything there as number 4, A.J. Jefferson is met by a wall of black and gold jerseys. And a little bit of jawing going on the field. Little finger pointing here and there. Love to see it.
I was just about to say, I love that. You need some trash talk on the field, anywhere you are.
It's early in the season, and now the Kings have forced the Tigers into a 3rd down situation. Let's see what they draw up here.
I believe it's about a 3rd and 6 currently. It's not quite 3rd and long, but it's about as close as you can be for a 3rd and long.
Jefferson to the left of Mosley. Moten to the right. Jefferson in motion goes to the near side. And the Kings offsides there.
That's the exact thing you don't want to do if you're the Kings.
Yeah, it was 3rd and long, and you give up an easy 1st down. That's not going to make Coach JB very happy. It will still be 3rd down, excuse us, but it will be 3rd and 3 for the Tigers. Well, we haven't seen much of the Tiger offense so far, but what do you think they draw up here on 3rd and short?
You can only imagine that it's probably you have that 3-man lineup in the backfield. It would not surprise me if we see probably a shotgun handoff, which is what we're looking at right now. They send a receiver out to the right side, or on the left side, I'm sorry. I would imagine that it's probably going to be a handoff down the middle.
That's going to be Mosley going to pass, and that pass was too short, looking for A.J. Jefferson on the near side. And it's going to be 4th down. I think that offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, I don't blame them. And honestly, that was probably the right idea. You send out a receiver. You kind of use your motion before the snap in order to maybe try and change up the defensive scheme that you're going against. But the throw has to be there in order for that to work in your favor.
Moten and Jefferson still to the right and left, respectively, to Mosley. He's going to hand off to Jefferson, who's taken down right away. And I think the ball might have been free for a second but it will be a turnover on downs. King football. Another great play by the defense. I believe that is, we're going to go ahead and give Cadillac Simmons.
Yeah, he
credit.
came off the field celebrating hard. So you can, I mean, Cadillac Simmons, absolutely incredible jump on the ball. And I mean, when you're on fourth down, you kind of, especially fourth down on that short of a field, you kind of anticipate that, and that's what all the great defensive backs do, and linebackers do, I should say. So very well played by Cadillac Simmons.
Now James and the offense back out onto the field. 2 receivers on the left side, 1 on the right. Keep an eye on Chris Johnson on the right side. He has 2 catches already today. That's been James's favorite receiver thus far. And James is going to take a timeout. So an early timeout taken by the Kings. Of course, we're going to stay right here.
And I do want to bring something up. So we're in Conway, Arkansas, and something called Swig has opened up. Have you tried it yet?
I've never heard of Swig.
So apparently Swig, so you know Sonic has, all the type of drink flavors and all that stuff. Apparently Swig is exactly that. That's all. Other than, looks like they have pretzels and sweets and treats, but apparently it's here in Conway. And I was going to be like, oh, I need to go try that after the game. And apparently they close at 7 p.m. on a Saturday. So
in a college town.
In a college town, man.
The college town.
The college town, man. I looked over to our right and saw somebody with Swig in one of the other booths. So
I see that too. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, they close in about 30 minutes. Really?
Yeah, that's crazy. You don't hear that often in college towns either.
No. Handoff. And great blocking up the middle on the right side. No one's going to catch him. To 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown, Kings. That was your wide receiver, Jamal Mosley. His first touch of the ball game, leading to the second score for the Kings.
And once again, the Kings blocking prevails. Mosby is given basically a free pass down near the sideline and is just off and running once he hit about the 30-yard line.
Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field for the 2-point conversion.
I don't blame him. I do the same thing in Madden. You miss your or college football, we'll say. You miss your field goal. You have to go for 2. You have to even it out.
Yeah, that's true. Hearsay to the right of his quarterback, James. Looking to the outside. There's a flag on the field. Play's going to continue. James finds his way into the end zone for the score. Let's see what the flag is all about. I believe it should be on the defense.
Waiting on the call.
See what the head official has to say. Will be on the offense.
And it looks like the Kings were already ready on the field for the kickoff. Way back in the other side, as Bryce Thrower, the safety, was already ready to go get the kickoff return, but right back to it. Do it again. See if C.J. James, would not surprise me if we see maybe a fake handoff, so a play action.
That's not what we're going to see here. James looking for the end zone, and just his first incompletion of the game. Was looking for Kamani Gray, the wide receiver up the middle. He's going to have a chat with his wide receiver just to get on the same page, and, of course, was right behind him.
You know, sometimes you try and guess what the play might be, and then they do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
As they left Lahirse in the backfield just to give C.J. James a little bit of extra blocking, because we did talk about that towards the beginning of the first quarter, where C.J. James was having to make a lot of space and scrambling, and so you add a little bit of extra protection, especially on that 2-point conversion attempt, make it a little easier on your quarterback to maybe make a play, as we see the replay from just a few minutes ago on the touchdown.
Yeah, by Jamal Mosby. And we're going to have kickoff by Easter, and it's going to be received by the Tigers, going up to the 40, spinning out of a tackle, goes down out of bounds around, let's say, the 49-yard line.
He got a lot of yards after contact there as well. That was a very impressive kick return. Got to, again, what you said about is the 48-yard line. So very, very impressive. Because, I mean, first time he got hit was around I believe that's the 43. So, I mean, he got at least 5 yards after contact.
So the Tigers have much better field position here. Let's see what the coaching staff for the Tigers has drawn up for just the second trip on the field for their team. Of course, 12-0 is your score with 5:04 left to play in the quarter. Mosley still the cornerback. Jefferson to his left. Behind him looks like Moten. It's going to be Moten with the ball, going up the middle and met inside. That is not a guy you want to meet in the middle. Let's see. That's going to, I'm trying to see what number that is. I believe that might be number 70, Quincy Brown. Right
Hard
in the
hit.
middle, yeah,
Very
huge
hard
hit.
Especially that size difference is major.
And Quincy Brown also the center on this offensive line. One receiver on the near side for the Tigers. That'll be number, well, now I can't see his number, but I believe that's LaMarcus Preston, who's yet to get a target in this game. Jefferson going the right side and going to be brought down. Flag on the field, but for now it is a tackle for a loss by the Kings.
I think it's very possible that flag's going to go against the Tigers. Holding against the Tigers, that's exactly what it'll be.
Great defensive play by the Kings. Greg Westbrooks, one of the players in on the action.
There's going to be a replay that down, but they're going to be from way farther back. It's holding on the Tigers.
Do want to say again, thank you for tuning in to the Natural State Sports coverage of Arkansas King football in the TLC. Mosley set to receive the snap. Two receivers on either side. Mosley steps back. He's got protection. He's got time. And I think there was a little confusion between two of the receivers, Larry Moten and LaMarcus Preston, because the ball was kind of placed in the middle of the two receivers and wasn't really close to either one of them. So that one falls incomplete. Comes up 3rd and long.
The Tigers are just not able to find a lot. They've tried 2 different passing plays so far in their 2 drives. Neither one has led to positive yardage or even negative yardage. Really, the only thing that's working for them so far is some sort of running play, and even then, they have not gained a lot. They've actually lost yardage since that kickoff. I believe they've lost about 4 yards since then.
Yeah.
So it's not nothing really working for the Tigers yet. Now, it is only the first quarter, so they have plenty of time to pick it up, but I do not see currently a solid plan in the passing game.
Mosley hands off up the middle. Good run. Believe that's A.J. Jefferson on the carry. Made some good progress on that run, but still going to be just short of the first down. It might have actually been Leandre Johnson on the carry. And the offense will stay on the field for 4th down.
And this is actually a better field position to be going forward on 4th down than they did last time. I believe they were on about the opposite 35-yard line, or on their own 35-yard line, I should say. Now they're on the Kings, and that's gotta be a jump.
Oh well, no flag on the field, no call. So gonna hand off at the middle. Fumble ball is loose on the ground. Let's see who has it. It's going to be King football.
And my goodness, Cadillac Simmons once again gets the tackle and comes up with the football. Absolutely insane game out of Courtney Cadillac Simmons already.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, there's so many players early in this game deserving a player of the game, but definitely on defense it is Cadillac Simmons. You can see that was Johnson fumbling the football, and Simmons right on top of it before anybody else could even realize the ball was loose. And, I mean, he was going to be short anyway, even if he held on to the football. So it would have been turnover on downs.
Now, I do want to say Jodikai Booker did get that tackle at the very, very beginning of the snap, which allowed Simmons to pick up that football. But, again, like you said, I think Simmons is definitely so far the MVP on the defensive end.
And some movement early.
Many flags on the field.
Yeah, Lahirse for now is going to have first down after laying a massive hit. Won't matter as one of the Tigers, a little shoving just for a second, but there's going to be some movement on offense, so it will back the Kings up.
It will be false start on the offense, which we kind of anticipated. There was multiple pieces of dirty laundry on the field before the ball was ever snapped. So
the Kings will have the football at their own 42-yard line. Chris Johnson, the receiver, on the right side. He's had such a solid game so far. Kamani Gray on the left side, far left as well. Another guy to keep an eye on. James, he was looking to go deep. He's going to extend the play, and he's going to go out of bounds. So they're going to lose some. They're going to lose some yards there after really good reaction by the Tigers. Now that is something they have to keep an eye on. James has burned this defense a number of times with his ability to escape the pocket and pick up yards with his legs. Much better reaction by the Tiger defense. Will be second and very long, though.
I apologize. One of my good friends just got engaged as well. So there you go.
Nice. Congratulations.
There you go. Congratulations to Austin and Rachel.
Oh, yeah. He's a cool guy.
I would hope so. He was one of my groomsmen.
Well, that's why I say I'd never met him before your wedding, so yes.
Which that is a since then. I'll talk about that after this play.
James looking right, looking middle. He's got a lot of time. He can practically just sit down in the pocket. He's going to roll out. Got it to Bone. Bone met immediately. I think he was out of bounds, but just shoved the defensive back, Monquez Moore, off of him. And Don Bone. If your last name is Bone, you got to be tough. I mean,
absolutely.
You have to be tough. You got to be strong. And, I mean, and he was looking like it right there. It's going to be 3rd and long again. They did pick up some solid yardage, and I think it's going to be 3rd and 13 from, looks like, the 44-yard line of the Kings. So they still have a lot more work to do. Two receivers either side. And James running, looking to go out of bounds, and he does. He might have gotten right back to the line of scrimmage. Regardless, it is 4th down for the Kings. Let's see what they do here. Looks like the punter is headed out onto the field. Punter is backup linebacker Felipe Rodriguez. And it looks like the snapper is another linebacker, Jacob Nichols. And that will be the end of the first quarter, so they'll have the punt right after this quarter break. And we're going to take a break ourselves. Continue to tune in to Arkansas King football on the Natural State Sports Network right after this break. And welcome back to the second quarter of action here on the Natural State Sports Network. As your Arkansas Kings with the early 12-0 lead over the visiting Louisiana Tigers. And last few members of the kickoff team, or excuse me, the punt team, headed out onto the field for the Kings. They couldn't come up with the first down after working their way back from 3rd and long. Now it's Rodriguez. It's a high one and goes out of bounds right around the 36, 37-yard line. Not too bad field position for the Tigers.
However, we have said that before.
Yeah, and
they
they
didn't really lead to anything.
They did not come up with the score, so it's still scoreless for the Tigers. They have yet to enter the red zone.
I don't think they've had a first down either. Or one.
Maybe one.
Maybe one. That was not to be mean. I think I just
oh
forgot
no, you
about
totally meant to be mean.
I was trying to be like the rudest person in the world.
Oh yeah. No, their offense just has not been clicking today. Of course, this is a team, they brought back a lot of solid talent from last year's TLC championship squad, but they are missing a couple key pieces. The offensive and defensive championship MVPs from that championship game. And it's kind of showing here after allowing back-to-back scores on consecutive King possessions and then failing to come up with their own score through one quarter of play. Of course, 3 more quarters, a lot can change. And we're going to have a timeout on the field by the Tigers. You'd think they'd be able to go ahead and know what they're going to run. They're like, well, it's going to be a punt.
Yeah, you'd imagine
This is what we're going to do to start out, but maybe not. So they're going to talk some things, talk over some things with 13:55. It's a running clock. Clock's supposed to stop. It's timeout, but so 13:46 is what the clock is at right now.
It should be at 14:10.
Yeah,
I believe is what referee said.
It is really hard to hear, though, inside this enclosed press box. And now the Tigers are going to break the huddle. Mosley not the quarterback on this drive. It's going to go back to the reigning TLC Championship MVP, Larry Moten Jr. Take a look at Moten right there, running back to his left. He'll fake the handoff. He's looking to go deep. It's a high ball, and picked off! Interception by the Kings right away. Another turnover drawn by this Arkansas King defense. Who came up with that football?
Thompson.
Markel Thompson, the starting safety for the Kings, making a huge play here to begin the second quarter. We'll take a look at that interception one more time.
And that ball hung in the air for so long.
It was a high pass and was looking for the receiver, and great ball skills by Thompson and great shot by our camera guy.
Yeah, big shout out to our camera guys for sure. That was like a trailer type moment.
It was.
That's what you throw in a highlight reel.
And in the backfield, brought down by number 77, Jay Durden Flores. Of course, we do have a new quarterback out on the field. It's number 8, Isaiah Nelson. So C.J. James, I don't see him on the sideline. Do you see James?
I do not. Although I don't really remember. Hold on.
Number 9.
Number 9. That's the number I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm not sure I see him on the sideline.
Nelson, nearly picked off by the Tigers. Kind of an ill-advised pass. That would have been an interception by Monkez Moore if he just got up under it a little bit more. So it is 3rd and very long for the Kings. Rasheed Monica, the running back to the right of Nelson. Nelson. He's looking to go deep. And up over the middle, picked off by the Tigers. It's Jefferson with the interception and brought down finally by a number of players. And Jefferson slow to get up after the interception. And we do have a King on the ground still. Not sure who it was.
Isaiah Nelson didn't look too comfortable in that under pressure moment. Didn't look too comfortable in scrambling. So I think that kind of sent him into not too sure of where to go with the ball. Overthrew him just a little bit and doesn't work out in his favor.
Pressure came, and, of course, Jefferson with the interception. And it looks like that, trying to see what number, who that was coming off the field. Might be Don Bone, the starting tight end. I believe that's exactly who that is. So he's walking off the field. Looks to be all right for the most part. So hopefully he's not off the field for very long. But the Tigers back out. Moten will remain the quarterback. His lone pass of the game was an interception. But let's see if he's able to make up for that on this drive. Two receivers either side. Running back to his left, man in motion.
And this is by far the best field position that the Tigers have had.
Knocking on the door to the red zone. Moten with the first down. Great run by the quarterback, and they are into the red zone for the first time tonight.
And that's what, I mean, you can kind of say this at all levels of football, is flipping a bad turnover or even just good field positioning into your favor every time is going to win you most football games, right? And so that was a very important interception for the Tigers, and so being able to convert on this could be very big for their momentum at the 12-15 mark of this game in the second quarter.
Same formation as the last play. Two receivers either side. Running back to his left. Moten running to his left again. Spinning around the defense, but finally brought down.
And I am starting to notice that Moten is a much better runner going to his left. So I think if you're the Kings, you need to at least try and force him right. Whether that means putting the better side of your line towards that left side to force him to the right, or even put some of your quicker linemen on the left side to force him to the right, get him to your bigger guys, and get an easy either just easy tackle or even tackle for a loss. But he has been very often going to that left side.
Two receivers either side for a third time. Let's see which way they run, because I imagine, it's going to be Moten looking to pass. He's running right, going deep, and
it's good.
It's good. The field goal is good for Moten. No, of course. Incomplete.
Although there is a late flag down.
There is a flag. Let's see who it is on.
And Moten has his helmet off.
Maybe roughing the passer.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep, it will be roughing the passer on the defense.
A big break for the Tigers.
Yep, so the automatic first down, and let's see where they mark them at. They're going to be, I think, inside the 10. Yep, so it is first and goal for the Tigers. By far their best offensive drive, and it's really because of a penalty and then, of course, the start, the turnover. Of course, they have had one big first down and a pretty big run on another, first down.
Yep.
Moten hands off to his running back as Johnson. He stumbles and falls right into the chest of Simmons. Is there
nothing crazy? I believe it was just momentum based, but there was a little bit of something towards the end there, but nothing came of it, of course, which is a very good thing.
Well, if you're a true football fan, you love to see the competitive nature of these guys going at each other. Maybe they say a few not so nice words here and there to each other, but that is the competitive nature of these players leaking out And it's good to see in just the second game of the season for these guys, and gotta love it. Moten gets the snap. He's going to run right, looking to extend the play long again. And that will bring up third down.
I'm not really sure if he had any specific receiver in mind. I think he was just trying to get it in the vicinity of one of his wideouts, but not able to connect on anything, unfortunately.
Do have some good news for the Kings. C.J. James spotted him. He had his jersey off for a time, but his jersey is back on after being met by the medical staff. So it looks like he's about ready once the Tigers hopefully turn the ball over here or just don't score. He'll be right back out on the field to lead the Kings. Back to the two running backs in the backfield formation. Man in motion. Moten looking left. He's going to take it himself, looking for the end zone. Helmet went flying. He did not find the end zone.
He was inches
Moten,
away.
oh, my goodness. He got smacked by somebody. Despite that, he's not the one to get off the field slowly for the Tigers. Let's see if we can see this. Ooh, that was not Simmons. I thought that was going to be Cadillac Simmons coming up with the hit. That's actually DeMaji Newman with the big hit. Of course, he took a bit of that hit himself, and he's kind of moving a little bit slowly as he lines up. But still a touchdown-saving tackle, which also forces fourth down here. So big play. All they need is not even a yard. Bunched up. Tush push possibly at the semi-pro level.
Let me see a tush push.
Moten under center. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a tush push. And what's the call?
Their hands up in the air from the Tigers, acting like they didn't get through.
Yeah, I don't. Well, number 11 just said, Savannah just said he shook his head. I don't think he got in. I'm not seeing an official signal.
The Kings are acting like.
Oh, and it's a turnover on Towns. What a defensive stop by the Kings.
I mean, they were inches away, and they couldn't do anything about it. Absolutely great. Great stop by the Kings, especially considering that was a tush push. Jalen Hurts would be disappointed.
He definitely would be. He probably would have gotten it in, too. Let's take a look at it again, and that's the offensive lineman that went in. I don't see the ball.
He's below all of that.
Yeah, I can't, don't quite have instant replay, but cannot see it over there at all.
Yeah, he's close, but I'm not sure he was quite there.
Well, obviously the officials didn't think he was, so that works for me. 8:06 left to play in the first half of action. The Kings will have the football. About the worst possible field position you could ask for, but they do have the football. And it's not going to be James out on the field. I don't see him. Do you?
I do not.
No, it's still going to be Isaiah Nelson. Believe he will. Yeah, we're going to have a timeout by the Kings, first of the half for Justin Bowie and crew. Yeah, C.J. James, of course, started at quarterback. He had a conversation with the medical staff, and I still don't see him. Oh, I see him. Okay, he's on the sideline, so he's not out on the field. Not sure if he's injured. He's moving around fine, laughing, chatting with teammates, but it's not out on the field. It's still Isaiah Nelson. Of course, Nelson has not had a completion so far today. Thrown one interception, a couple other incompletions, so this is definitely not a great place to begin the drive, especially if you really haven't had your best offensive performance this far. Pretty decent crowd coming out here to Young Wise Memorial Stadium.
Especially on the Saturday of Easter as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good crowd. Of course, there's no football going on professionally,
True.
college, whatever. So semi-pro is the best option you have, as it's going to be a solid run, about 5 yards for Rasheed Monica. Take a look at the crowd. Again, it's Easter weekend. There's probably going to be better crowds that this stadium draws towards the rest of the season, but it's probably, I would say there's some Tiger fans in the stadium, but coming from Shreveport to Conway, I'm not really sure, as they're only able to get a couple yards there. I think it might have been Monica again on the carry. One receiver either side. Again, a handoff. It's Don Bone going up the near side, and that's going to be enough for a first down. And Don Bone kind of slow to get up. He's going to stay on the sideline right now. Going to take a little bit of a breather, but he'll pick up another first down, this time on a rushing attempt for the Kings.
Nice little rushing attempt. He got a little extra on the first down as well. I think he got 4 or 5 yards more than what he needed. So all in all, a good little addition to your drive.
One of the offensive linemen for the Kings also not out on the field. Adam Hudson, the left guard, being looked at by trainers. Up the middle, though, is trying to see who that was. It might have been Chris Johnson. No, it's not. That's going to be Jamario Tate, another running back, a part of this pretty deep running back room that the Kings have. He'll get the handoff, and it'll be second and, say, 4.
You can kind of tell that the Kings have a good idea of what they want to do every time down the field, right? You can kind of tell that, okay, there's a little bit of a misunderstanding as the flag goes down, but a misunderstanding on that defensive line of the Tigers. So they're kind of taking advantage of that. We saw just a little bit ago C.J. James have a lot of time in the pocket, which is not something he had at the beginning. And so they've kind of worked towards that, giving whoever it may be, running back, quarterback, whoever it may be, a little extra time in the pocket and give them a little extra space, although I believe that the Kings will lose some intentional.
Yeah, they're going to lose some yards here, so it will back them up. It will still be second down. Second and, we'll say, 8. From what it looks like, Isaiah Nelson will remain the quarterback for the Kings for the rest of the half at the very least. C.J. James is sitting down on one of the benches. That's going to be short pass to the running back. Broke the first tackle, cannot break the second. Held on to the football. A great job. Let's see who that was. I believe that was Rasheed Modica once again.
I mean, he had multiple people trying to strip the football from his hands. He was able to hold on to it, which is a very difficult thing to do. Do not get me wrong. I mean, that is it's a very difficult thing to do. He was able to hold on to it. I believe, did he pick up? No, he did not, but
He got their yards right back pretty much after just about from losing them on that penalty. One receiver either side. Handoff again to the running back. There is a flag on the field. As it stands, it's first down after the Jamario Tate carry. Let's see what the penalty's all about. I believe it might be on the. Yeah, I think it might be holding. It's just what the official is signaling, it looked like. Yeah, it will be holding on the offense. So it will remain third down. Oh, wait, no.
again, it is kind of hard to hear up
It
here.
is very hard to. Got to drill a hole in this glass or something just to be able to hear these guys. But I had a experience like this. Of course, if you're familiar with our network, you might know that I was the Joe T. Robinson Senator play-by-play commentator this past high school football season, and they played at Jacksonville for a non-conference game, and or no, was that conference? Yeah, that was conference, and they have such a nice press box. I mean, it's still a fairly new stadium, but it's like this. Windows don't open, but it was even harder to hear because that stadium, Titan Stadium, is, at least the press box, is farther away from the field than it is here at Young Wise Memorial Stadium. But if any of you listeners ever have the chance to design and construct a football field and press box, make sure the window's open. Please. I mean, it just helps us. Well, left guard Adam Hudson back out on the field for the Kings. Of course, Hudson, former Joe T. Robinson offensive lineman. Had a pretty long semi-pro career. Another flag on the field. It will be, I believe, on the offense again.
I do want to point
It
out
will be false start once again on the offense.
there are these 4 women down here on the front row, right on the 50-yard line, wearing little, I believe that's foam. Is that foam on their heads?
Well,
like foam crowns. And I'm going to guess that means that they are Kings fans. But I have been watching them. I have been watching them every once in a while, and they have all sorts of little like streamers, and they're celebrating literally everything the Kings are doing. So, big shout out to those 4 women who are obviously just big fans of whoever it may be on this team, or just as a Kings fan in general.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's very true.
Every team has to have some diehard fans, no matter what, no matter what level you're at.
No penalty this time as the running back muscles his way up.
Got a lot of yards off behind the contact.
So that was just on second down. After all those penalties, it's just now third down. It was a great run up the middle or on the left side by Jamal Mosby. 12-0 is still your score with just under 2:30 left to play in the first half.
And all of that scoring came in the first 6 minutes of this game. So it's been a minute since we've seen anything scoring-wise. Seen a lot of penalties come out.
So up the middle that time was Monica off the handoff. Not seeing a lot of passes in this second quarter. Of course, the starting quarterback, C.J. James, still not out on the field as we have entered the 2-minute warning. Again, your score 12-0. Your Kings up on top. We're going to stay right here as we still have the final 2 minutes of the first half left to play. Now, I know we haven't seen a lot from Isaiah Nelson, the quarterback out there on the field for the Kings, as we're going to get a look at a great defensive play that really just deflated some momentum, if there was any, for the Tigers, and great play by Markel Thompson. But what do you want to see from Isaiah Nelson, who I think has maybe one completion? He's got a few rushing attempts, but just hasn't been able to assert himself in this ball game.
I think a lot of it comes down to just confidence, right? I talked a little bit about it, but he gets kind of put under pressure on some of these out of pocket situations when it feels like he's trying to force himself to stay in the pocket instead of scrambling, try and find something outside of the pocket, and he is not really confident in that. And so I think what he needs to do is, first of all, just take a breather, and if you need to scramble and go find it, just like that.
Nelson, deep throw up the middle, easy interception.
I said just like that. I'll take some blame for that.
That
one.
was Monquez Moore picking off the backup quarterback. That is the second interception thrown. We do have a flag on the field. And Monquez Moore got off the field limping after the interception.
Oh.
All right, so first down, Kings. Apparently, it was a legal substitution by the Tigers.
It's a lucky break.
Yeah, forget the interception.
It never happened.
Yeah, exactly. The Kings have the football now once again. And let's see if Isaiah Nelson's able to shake off that interception.
And as a quarterback, you need to be able to shake off something like that, especially when you're given a second chance. You need to be able to just say, okay, this is a new play. This is a new, this is a new opportunity to find something.
Nelson back to pass. He's got a lot of time and finds Don Bones. Going to be a first down for the Kings. Bone will not go down. Finally
That's a
does.
Flag on the play, though.
It's going to be a flag, maybe unintentional.
Late hit.
Maybe, or excuse me, not unintentional, unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness, yeah.
I will say Isaiah Nelson. Oh, it's going to be. Oh, okay, all right. Man, we cannot hear these guys. Well, whatever the call was, it's against the Kings, and they are backed up. So, sorry, Don Bone, that first down really doesn't count. 1:31 left on the clock. It's going to be 2nd and long for Isaiah Nelson, the Little Rock native. And he is not shy, or excuse me, at least not. He knows good and well about this Tiger team. He's played them in the past when he was with the Arkansas Extra. He's going very deep. That's not a great ball. It's going to be, almost picked off.
I mean, that was a gimme. I'm not going to lie. That was a gimme.
That should have been an easy interception. But Charles Meadows, that one just bounced out of his hands. And finally, it's going to be 3rd down. But C.J. James. I almost said C.J. King.
C.J. King, man. Shout out to C.J. King.
Great player. But C.J. James back out on the field as the quarterback for the Kings. And, of course, he had such a magnificent first quarter of play, being responsible for those 2 touchdowns to open the game up. So Monica will remain the running back to the right of James. James looking to throw. He's going to run outside, and he's going to be tackled hard in the backfield. He had nowhere to go and brought down pretty quickly by the Tigers. So we'll be 4th down. Let's see what the Kings decide to do here. If they decide to punt. I mean, the half is almost over. You might as well punt because you don't want to. Will be a timeout by the Tigers, but you definitely don't want to draw up a play, turn it over, and it's pretty decent field position for the Tigers, and they could possibly come away with a score in the final 40 seconds.
You really don't want that. Not when you've had this 12-0 lead the entire half. You kind of want to be able to end the half on a shutout. That's some good momentum going into the second half, allowing no points to be scored.
Well, Felipe Rodriguez, the linebacker, playing kicking duties tonight. He's on the field to punt. Number 5, Dre Taylor, set to receive for Louisiana. It's a low snap. Rodriguez, he's got to do something with it. What can he do? Rodriguez is wrapped up.
Well, that is exactly what the Tigers wanted and not what the Kings wanted.
I just said you better punt so you don't give them good field position. They tried to punt, and they have better field position than what could have happened on a turnover.
Hey,
if you went for it on 4th. Wow.
That kind of thing happens, man. A bad snap, not able to hold on to it, and now you're in, I believe, the red zone. Yeah, you're going to be on the 19-yard line. I mean, 33 seconds to do something. You don't expect, I would imagine, not too many runs, if any.
So Moten will likely remain the quarterback for the Tigers after they started with Jacoby Mosley to begin the game. The stadium lights have finally come on, so as the sun's starting to set, kind of hard to see. It's overcast, but it's still getting dark. And immediately there was a penalty on the penalty flag thrown.
I'm not sure that that's what you want if you're the Tigers, though.
No. Delay of game on the Tigers. One of the many penalties we have seen in this quarter as well.
trying to get the play clock to get fixed.
Oh, he put 3 minutes on the.
All right, let's go. Let's go another 3 minutes, huh?
No, should be 33 seconds. There we go. All right, there we go. So 33 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play. Moten with Leandre Johnson to his left. On the right side, Brioshin Savannah, the wide receiver. Tight end A.J. Jefferson and 3 more receivers on that left side, including Preston and Dre Taylor. Moten going to take it himself, and what a block by Jefferson. He can't find anywhere to go with it. Now he'll throw.
No way.
Wide open.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
How did that
what
work?
a play by the Tigers. Moten giving a little dancey dance at the very end as well. My goodness. One of the King defensive linemen still in utter shock after that turn of events. Oh, my goodness. What mastery
Yeah,
by
that was
Larry
incredible.
Moten. Just looking, he's on that left side, can't find anywhere to go with it, but because everybody's after him, Savannah's wide open.
And I don't even think Savannah ever moved.
No, I don't think he didn't need to. My goodness, an easy score by everybody except Moten for the most part. He had to work hard for that score. Now the Tigers will kick here. Jake Thompson will hold. I believe it's Monkez Moore. Or no, excuse me. Thompson will kick. It's going to be Monkez Moore holding. So the first kick attempted today after, and it's going to be
not gonna
Moore.
be a kick.
Oh, Moore found a guy on the outside. It's Taylor. Taylor trying to get past the defense, and he cannot. And the Tigers.
16.9. But 16.9 on the clock.
So the Tigers were trying to go for something a little extra. They couldn't get it there. So the score remains 12-6 as we're to the final seconds of the half.
You would imagine that just this last 16 seconds will tick away, and we'll head to halftime here very soon. I wouldn't imagine will be anything crazy coming from the Kings here.
It should be a much-needed half for both teams. The Kings just have not been able to find any sort of rhythm in the second quarter. The Tigers, they finally scored, but they still need to talk a lot of things over, especially with their offensive execution. I mean, their offense has been all over the place. I mean, they've had some good runs by Moten, and then they haven't really done much in the passing game with the exception of that Moten to Savannah connection.
And even then,
that was a defensive breakdown more than it was. I mean, you got to give credit to Moten for
buying that much time and drawing that much attention in such a short amount of time.
Thompson, going to be a short kick, received at the 35, and going to be taken down. And the clock's going to run for a second. It's going to be the last 5 seconds of the half. And I would think the Kings will just take a knee here.
You wouldn't expect anything crazy unless you want to try and Hail Mary. That's what I would do.
No.
Personally.
Well,
that's why I'm not a head coach, though. So
no, that is an utterly terrible play. No offense. I mean,
why not? Or why? I'm just kidding.
This is not Madden. This is not NCAA football. Does anyone even play Madden anymore? I do every now and then. Every now and then. During football season, I do. So I'm still old gen. I don't have the. I'm not next gen. I don't have the
new consoles.
no.
Or a new console, and the knee will come through from C.J. James.
So that will do it for the first half of action. Your Kings on top, 12-6 over the visiting Louisiana Tigers. We will see what both teams are able to draw up after coming out of the locker room for the second half of action. You're watching Arkansas King football on the Natural State Sports Network.
Here we go.
And welcome back to Arkansas King Football on the Natural State Sports Network, where we are live from Crafton Faulkner Field on the campus of Hendrix College in Conway, Arkansas. Your Arkansas Kings of the TLC are facing the Louisiana Tigers of Shreveport, Louisiana, and it was an early 12-0 lead by the Kings through one quarter of play, and after a really slow second quarter of action, the Tigers finally got their way back into the ball game with a score, a connection between Moton and Savannah on the touchdown reception, and now it should be the Tigers that open the second half of action with the football right after a King kickoff. Back to receive, Leandre Johnson and Dre Taylor for the Tigers. And set the kick. Is Ramar Easter, one of the backup running backs for the Kings. No Rahu Trejo today, so it's been all hands on deck for kickoff and punt duties. Is Taylor trying not to lose the football, and he's taken down finally by two different King defenders. So he'll be down right about the 20-yard line. No, they're going to give a few yards. We're going to say 24-yard line.
We got flooded by a wave of black and gold jerseys.
Still taking a second to get play organized, and it's going to continue to be Larry Moton Jr. to quarterback this offense. Two receivers either side, running back to his right. He'll hand off to the running back as Johnson doesn't get much. Maybe a yard, if not right back to the line of scrimmage.
That's kind of been the story for the Tigers so far, is that it's just they can't find anything in the run game, but they keep going back to it. They keep trying to get something going, and it feels like every time it's either a loss of yards or it's a very small gain of inches, and so it's not really. I don't know if it's because maybe they don't trust the arm that's taking the snaps, or if it's just they have that much confidence in their run game. So I'm not really totally sure.
Two receivers either side again. Moton's going to step back and pass. He was looking for somebody. Looking, throwing. Got a man open at Savannah. Great catch and great job holding on to the football. After a man coming in to make the tackle, that was Anthony Hatton, the corner.
No, he did. Anthony Hatton did see that very early on, but he wasn't quite fast enough to be able to get to that ball. But he was able to make that tackle very early on. There was no extra yards gained after the catch. So, well played by Hatton for what he had.
Actually, it's a safety, excuse me. One of the starting safeties, along with Markel Thompson. Well, he's not out on the field right now, but it's Ja'Kalen Jackson, the other starting safety. Going to hand off again to Johnson. Doesn't get anything as one of the offensive linemen lost his helmet.
That seems to be a theme.
Yeah, that's happened. That was Jamar Alexander. And I guess in the semi-pro football, you don't have to take a play off after losing your helmet. So he's going to remain on the field. A couple of substitutions for the Kings as well. Two receivers on either side. On the near side, they're bunched up. Moten gets the snap. He's running to his left. He's pretty strong running on that side. And he's finally brought down at around the 46-yard line of the Tigers. And that will be third down for Louisiana.
And that's one of those runs that feels a lot longer than it actually was. He was trying to give himself a lot of time behind the line of scrimmage before he started going. Picked up still 6 yards, so not too bad for the Tigers.
Tigers don't use a lot of different formations. Two receivers on either side. No tied in on the field. Running back to his left. It's going to be throwing and intercepted by the Kings. Running up the right side. He's got a lot of green grass in front of him. 10-5. Inching his way in for the touchdown. Kings back on top. That was Jacqueline Jackson. Little showboating at the end, but a touchdown nonetheless for the Kings off the pick six. And finally, they have found the end zone for the first time since the first quarter.
Very well played. And I mean, green grass all the way. And again, somehow, even on a pick six, the blocking comes in handy and it allows him to just take off from around the, what was that, the 45?
Yeah, just about. Yeah, the 45 of the Kings. And, yeah, that was great defensive play. Of course, the second pick we've seen today. Get a look at Jackson celebrating with his teammates on the sideline. First pick of the evening for the former Arkansas Baptist and Delta State player. Was a really good player at Delta State. Actually was a wide receiver. Caught 22 passes for 116 yards in his final season with Delta State. I believe they're the Statesmen. He's also part of the Hot Springs Wise Guys football team. Earned a training camp invite about a month ago. So it's going to be C.J. James, the starting quarterback out there for the two-point conversion. Man in motion. James looking left. Now he's looking right, running right. Can he take it himself? He's trying. He gets to the pylon. Two-point conversion is good for the Arkansas Kings. So just like that, the score 20-6 for the Arkansas Kings. We're going to take a look at that interception one more time. So if you're a Tiger fan, look away. Of course, the interception leading to the touchdown. Moten looked like he had a guy open. Did not, though. And it was, well, I guess he did have one man open. It was Jacqueline Jackson. And let's see how he got into the end zone one last time.
That is a Madden play.
Gotta love it. Yeah, that is exactly a Madden celebration. If you know anything about Golden Tate, the former NFL wide receiver.
Gosh, Golden Tate, man.
Or
Lions.
Deshaun Jackson, they both did that type of stuff. As we're going to have the kickoff here, it's going to be a short one. Right into the hands of Taylor. He's taking it up the left side now, following blockers. He's got a good return. Dre Taylor into King territory. Excellent field position to open up the drive for the Tigers. Let's see if they can hold on to the ball a little bit longer than one play.
Made it up to about the 41-yard line. Very, very good return for the Tigers. Now we haven't seen them. We haven't seen them be able to capitalize off of good field position much in this game. So you have to assume that had to be something they spoke about in halftime at length. So you might watch out for the Tigers here, assuming that there's not another pick six. Assuming.
Well, so far today, Moton's favorite target has been Savannah there on the near side, number 11. That's Brioshan Savannah. Of course, had the lone touchdown of the game for the Tigers. Had a couple other catches here and there. Moton in the backfield to Jefferson. He's not going to get much at all. He's taken back maybe 6 yards. 3 different Kings in to make the stop. And yep, clock's going to continue running here with 10:33 left to play in the third quarter. Well, if you are an NBA basketball fan, you're probably keeping up with the playoffs going on right now. We are, as the New York Knicks look to take a big game 1 victory over the Detroit Pistons. Now they're leading by 10. Jalen Brunson's being set. Oh, is that another interception?
It was close. It was very close.
In and out of his hands. Trying to see who that was.
Third down and long for Louisiana here.
Well, that would have been, well, I can't see that number. I believe it's 16, but I don't think it's Philip Blackman, who is one of the backup quarterbacks. There's 2 16s on the field, only 1 on the roster. But regardless, a near interception by the Kings. Moton. And swallowed up right there by Booker. Jadesi Booker making the big play there. This is a guy that has really been catching some eyes by a lot of teams, especially in the Arena Football League, as he's already been invited to the training camp roster for the Ozark Lunkers out of the Arena Football League. They're based out of Springfield, Missouri.
And if I'm not mistaken, Hot Springs just recently got an Arena Football team, right?
The Wise Guys and Jacqueline Jackson, I think, has also accepted a training camp invite to the Wise Guys. Their season starts, I think, pretty soon. But if it hasn't already, I don't really. Memorial Day weekend. Okay, well, good to know. Moton stepping back to pass. He's going deep. Moton, jump ball. It was caught by a King defender, but he was not in play. I believe that may have been Jacqueline Jackson that may have come up with that catch, but of course he was not in bounds.
I think his Kings teammate, I can't tell who that is, but immediately was saying it's out, it's out, it's out, because that would have been a lot worse field position than what they're going to get now.
Exactly. That regardless of the interception or not, turnover on downs for the Tigers. As C.J. James looks to reestablish his rhythm, one that he had in that first quarter of play. I mean, he was just fantastic, responsible for both of the Kings' offensive touchdowns. I think only had 1 incompletion in that quarter. Of course, showed off his mobility. That second touchdown with his legs. Let's see what he can do here. Running back to his right. He'll shovel pass in the backfield, and Monica, he's still running. I think he was down a lot farther back. And
I was about to say, I thought he went down.
He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So it will be 2nd and 12 with 7:49 left to play in the quarter. Running back now to the left of James. It's Monica again. Is he going to beat him off the edge? He will not. Defense got to him first. I believe Derek Clarkson Jr. was one of the Tigers in to make the stop. And S. Jackson, one of the other Tigers, slow getting off the field. Well, if you haven't noticed, it's dark outside. it field's not as bright as I think. Maybe you could
I anticipated.
Maybe you could say that interception or the interceptions we've seen, or I guess just the one in this half, and maybe the near incompletion by the Tigers is because visibility is not as great.
Yeah, you could say that, but it's also even then a pick six. You don't really need too much visibility to make a tackle, So, just saying.
Well, I'm just saying on the pass, though, I'm trying to give them a little bit of credit. Saying, well, I guess it's not really credit. It's just giving them an excuse. But, well, thank you all again for tuning in to this Natural State Sports Network production of Arkansas King football. Louisiana Tigers need to come up with a stop here on 3rd and very long. I need to see the Kings start passing some more. The runs haven't really been working. The Tigers have been anticipating well coming off the edge. And the snap was fumbled. Monica ended up with the football, brought it back to the line of scrimmage, and now it is 4th down and long once again. And it looks like the Kings are going to punt. Oh, whoa, hold on a second. James is telling the punt unit to go back on the sideline.
James wants to do something here.
They got to get the snap down first because the last couple snaps haven't been the cleanest. And
it's possible James might be wanting to punt himself, although they're not set up for that.
Well, no. Oh, no, James going to pass here. He's going to step up. Oh, he's looking to take it himself. And he gets 3 yards, but it will be turnover on downs. Tiger football with 5:34 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
I'm a little confused with that decision, to be totally honest, but obviously James had some sort of idea there. Wasn't able to convert it, but.
And I'm not really sure why he didn't try to stay in the pocket longer, at least look to pass longer. Maybe he thought he saw a lane. Maybe he thought he saw a lane open for him to run, and maybe it closed up as quickly as he noticed it. But regardless, the Tigers look to finally gain some momentum here. I don't think they've had a first down in this second half. I think they probably only had 2 or 3 in that first half. So their offense really just has not been clicking today, and their lone touchdown was simply because Savannah was wide open. The defense just kind of lost him.
And even then, it really wasn't even that the defense lost them. It's just that they were so concerned about a quarterback. No, I don't want to call that a sneak because of how long it lasted, but a running quarterback, and so they put all their resources towards that. Savannah got wide open, and it was basically just free.
Well, the Tigers are going to take a timeout here, first of the second half. We're going to stay right here, though. Well, in other football news, Razorbacks been making some moves out of the transfer portal.
Absolutely.
I saw they picked up a couple guys today. Yeah, I think today. Guy from corner that I think flipped or something from Stanford, and then a linebacker from Southern Utah.
There you go.
So they're not there to necessarily be starters, but they're there to fill up some
Much needed holes.
yeah, linebacker was pretty thin. I mean, you have pretty good first 3, 4, and then after that, it was getting into a lot of freshmen. Not that that's a bad thing, but, you know, you definitely want some experience behind there, and that's exactly what the Arkansas Kings have. I mean, just looking up and down their roster, they have a lot of guys who have played a lot of football. We haven't really called Jacob Nichols' name a lot, but he's an outside linebacker. Plays on this squad. I think he may be on the sideline right now for this drive. But this guy that just when I was doing my research, he was one of the – or no, he's out there, excuse me, one of the outside linebackers, one of the best running backs that Lake Hamilton High School has seen in the 2010s. At the very least, even in the 21st century, as another interception. Oh, who was that? It was Jake Nichols. Jacob Nichols. I called it. Interception by the linebacker. Oh, he can't quite get in there. But Jacob Nichols, there you go. He heard me talking about him. He said, you know what, I'm going to relive my glory days right there. Come away with the interception. The third interception of the night for the Kings. Hey, I was about to mention he had an interception when he was in high school when he played both sides of the football. But what a play.
That was incredible.
Again,
what a call.
Jacob Nichols, huge defensive play, and this is definitely the best field position the Kings have seen all game long, especially in the second half. So maybe they can do something here in prime position with the score. Again, I want to see more passes from this squad. C.J. King has such rhythm initially, and
maybe that's what C.J. James wanted to cook up. You know, he called off the punt team.
I'm going to turn it over.
Yep. And
then we're going to get the interception.
It's going to turn into really good field position.
Yeah. Who has the football? Oh, my goodness. How did Don Bone ended up with the football somehow? Touchdown, Kings.
He just walked himself down, right down Main Street. John Bone gets a touchdown. The big man gets the handoff. Scores. Very easy.
I think you may be right. Maybe that's what James was hoping all along.
Yep.
Just, we got to give Don Bone a handoff at some point.
Give him the opportunity.
Can't give him a handoff at 4th and 18 or whatever. So let's get him a handoff when you're in the red zone.
Yep.
Going for 2 is the Kings. Handoff again. It wasn't Bone that time. I'm thinking it might have been Tate. Yeah, that was Jamario Tate on the carry. So 26-6 is your score with 4 minutes left to play. 4 minutes left to play in the quarter, and we're finally seeing a little bit better play from the Kings in the second half.
The defense has picked up its pace. We've seen, I mean, we almost saw 2 pick sixes very quickly, but accidentally trips up over his own player on the ground, but doesn't really matter. Does end up being a score for Bone. Shout out to John Bone. We've been waiting on that one. I still can't believe you called that, too.
The Nichols interception.
Yep. What a call.
Man. I'll have to mention somebody else to see.
Just to try.
Yeah, to see if it happens again. I mean, that I couldn't have drawn that up at any point. And that ball's going to go past Taylor on the return, and he's met by a couple players. Yeah, he was. And they've had some successful returns, but some of their returners have been getting hit pretty hard. Well, in other news, if you're watching the NBA playoffs, you're probably watching the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers because, and if you saw what we just saw, Anthony Edwards just had one of the best crossovers of playoff history. I wish we could show you.
It's 15-7 in that game.
Yeah, 15-7 Lakers up, but Anthony Edwards just made Rui Hachimura touch the earth.
You know, on that Lakers squad, there is a homegrown, undrafted Arkansas player who has made a name for himself.
Yeah, Austin Reeves. Yeah,
Austin Reeves out of you would know Newark, Arkansas, undrafted. As now the Tigers looking to do something now. That's a first down.
All right, so first completion, and that first completion to a Tiger instead of a King.
Yeah,
for the first time in a while. So that was definitely good momentum there initially to start out this drive in the third. Three receivers on the right side, one on the left. Finally, a different formation. We really have just been seeing two on either side for the most part. Shotgun formation throughout. A little different here. As Moton's going to have his running back switch sides. It's Johnson going from left to right. Moton looking. Finally found. Oh, that would have been another interception. And guess who that would have been?
No way.
Ja'Kalen Jackson. No, not Nichols, but well, you know what? I did say this. Let's talk about somebody. Who on the defense am I going to talk about? All right. See, I haven't spent much time talking about. Is he even on the field? Yeah. Let's talk about Greg Westbrooks. He's had a couple plays, but this is a West Memphis kid. He was all conference at West Memphis High School, and he went on to play for the University of Arkansas Monticello. Didn't play much there, but then went on to play some spring football with the Arkansas Bolts back in 2019. And in 9 games, had 80 tackles, 67 solo, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, 10 passes.
Did you say 9 games?
9 games, 80
Holy.
tackles. Yeah. And, that was caught by one of the Tigers.
First down as well.
Yeah, it was a first down by the Tigers. I'm trying to see who that was on the reception. He just kind of came out of nowhere. That might have been
25.
20, or is it 26?
25 or 26.
I can't. His hair's in the way. I'm going to say it's 26, or maybe it's 25. I don't know. It's either Dominic Pugh or Taj Horton. Can't tell. But one of them with another first down reception for the Tigers. I started talking about Westbrooks, and there was not an interception on that play. So
You're not quite Nostradamus. Nostradamus? That's the one.
Did you see that movie that he was in? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
No. Nostradamus?
Oh, no, that's not it. What
Nostradamus is
am
like
I
a
thinking?
philosopher.
No,
dude.
well, I was thinking the vampire, the I don't even know, the Novostro or something. Okay, you have no idea. Okay,
I don't know what you're talking about.
And pass up over the head of Leandre Johnson, and that I am so shocked that was not roughing the passer after Moton got plowed down by Cadillac Simmons.
Nostradamus and a vampire. Oh,
yeah,
man.
I got a little. Yeah,
It's not quite as bad as the pancake rant that we had.
Pancake, right?
Yeah, with at one of our I think it was Mills and
Oh yeah, it wasn't
forget
us,
who
but
it
yeah,
was.
it was somebody else in our
Network. Yeah.
That was funny. I really don't understand the context. And Kings lining up again, 2nd and 10. Moten going to hand off to Jefferson. Jefferson spinning, can't find any room to run. Nichols, one of the few in on, or excuse me, one of the many in to make the tackle. Actually, nope, not Nichols. Somebody else. The darker it gets, the harder it is to see some of these numbers. That was Landon Roberts, one of the defensive linemen coming in to make the stop. Another NBA playoff update. Rudy Gobert is one of the worst defenders I've ever seen. Even though the guy's won Defensive Player of the Year 4 times.
To be fair, could you think you could guard Luka at all? I feel like I would have no chance.
I mean, he's so misleading because he's so slow. I feel like everybody else probably thinks they can guard him as Jefferson gets brought down hard by Simmons. Again, Cadillac Simmons been all over the field.
He might be Cadillac Simmons might be the greatest player of all time. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
he has been everywhere.
He's been playing like the best player on the field, and that's saying something because we've seen interceptions by Thompson, by Nichols, by Jackson. We've seen a lot of a lot of interceptions. We've seen, a forced fumble. We've seen some stuff, and Cadillac Simmons has just been all over the field.
This 4th and 5. They're going to go for it to try and end the quarter, I'd imagine.
Yeah, final 11 seconds remaining. Moten's going to get the snap. He's looking. Is he going to – he beats his man off the edge. It's going to be a deep pass downfield. Moten, and incomplete. Just dropped. I think that was Preston that dropped it right in his hands. It was pretty good coverage by Ja'Kalen Jackson, but, man, that was tough. Not coming up with that catch would have been a huge game-changing play. Well, for now, the Kings with the 26-6 lead as we head into one final quarter at play at Young Wise Memorial Stadium. Stay tuned for more Arkansas King football action right after this break. And welcome back to the Natural State Sports Network. I'm Chris Gay. This is Will Stafford. Thank you for being with us all night long for this Arkansas King football game against the Louisiana Tigers. This is TLC football action at its finest. Your Kings with the 26-6 lead over the visiting Tigers. And one thing I'll say, I mean, I know Shreveport, Louisiana is not the farthest you can travel, as this is going to be a great touchdown. It's going to be a touchdown by Monica into the end zone. Rasheed Monica with the score.
And that is a wave goodbye as you're running down the field, man. Absolutely incredible play.
But Monica, I had mentioned how we needed to see more passes. The running hadn't really worked. The running worked that time.
Yes,
I will
it
say
did.
that.
Yes, it did.
We do have an injured Tiger down on the field. I can't really tell who that is. A couple of the Kings are trying to get the attention of the Tiger medical staff, which they don't have a medical staff, but they're trying to get attention of somebody. So the Kings medical staff is going to head out onto the field, trying to check him out. Let's take another look at that touchdown run by Monica, just making a man miss. One of the other defenders got tripped up, and an easy running score for Rasheed Monica.
Both staffs are looking at the downed Tigers player.
You know, I know that Conway's called the city of colleges, but I didn't really go through it much when I came in today. But depending on where I go, I believe this. Actually, we're going to take a quick break right quick. Excuse me. Sorry, I was about to ramble. But we are going to take a quick break. Stay tuned for more Arkansas King football action here on the Natural State Sports Network.
Lifestyle on camera, $100,000 chandelier. They tried to turn me to an animal, but white people think I'm radical. Supermodels think I'm handsome. You might think I'm too aggressive, but really I think I'm too passive. Till I pull out the chopper, start blasting.
All the singles straight up, throw it up. Watch it fall and drop. Round and round and go. Strut, strut it on.
Pray for me, I'm about to hit the yay button. I don't wanna say nothing wrong, but it'd be wrong if I ain't say nothing. Imagine if I ain't say something, when none of niggas say nothing. I done lost and made money, now I'm making something they can't take from me. And I'm fresh out of debt in this motherfucker, and they still ain't ready yet for a motherfucker. Yeezy might have to go and put his Louis on. I'm about to go Gucci in the Gucci store.
Fresh out the beds in this motherfucker, and they still ain't ready yet for a motherfucker. Gucci mine, and I'm about to put my Yeezys on. Now that Gucci home is over for you Gucci clones.
All the singles straight up, throw it up. Watch it fall and drop. Round and round and go. Strut, strut it round and go. Champions, we run the city. Number one, they falling from the top.
And welcome back to the Natural State Sports Network. Have more Arkansas King football coverage here, as still don't know who the injured Tiger was coming off the field, but looks like he was all right, walked off the field.
On his own accord, which is a very good sign as well.
Now the King's going to have really good field position here, running off the edge. He's just running for his life right now, and he's somehow going to break through a bunch of tackles. I
That
can't
was
tell
for a
who
two-point
that
conversion, though, so.
Oh, that's true. My mistake, but it is 32-6, and that was Philip Blackman as the quarterback. I don't know who the running back was. That might have been, I believe that might have been Jamal Mosby, possibly as the running back, and was just trying to find any sort of separation on that outside. But the Tigers will receive the kickoff here as Ramar Easter back out to kick for the Kings. (32-6) is your score with 14:49 left to play here at Young Wise Memorial Stadium on the campus of Hendrix College in the city of colleges, Conway, Arkansas. And the thing I was going to mention before we went to break that I didn't really have my thoughts behind me when I was saying it, but I know it's called the City of Colleges.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be renamed, though.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people would agree with me. Should be the City of Roundabouts.
I agree.
Now,
I think roundabouts are made by the worst person in human history.
I
dude.
understand.
don't know.
I understand because actually they're safer than stoplights because more accidents happen at stoplights
Uh-huh.
than roundabouts. So I understand the need for them, but they are so unnecessarily frustrating sometimes.
Especially when people don't know how to use them.
Exactly. If you don't know how to use a roundabout, I know it can definitely be confusing. But
I live in on the edge of North Little Rock, Maumelle, Arkansas, and Maumelle is pretty bad about roundabouts as well. Not to the scale of Conway, because Conway, literally any road you go down, you're going to hit a roundabout. Like that's almost not exaggerated. Maumelle is like.
oh no, Conway's like that. Let's.
That's
be-
what-
I
that-
mean. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I meant Conway.
Oh, Conway. Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Conway.
But yeah, no, you're right. Maumelle does have a few.
But Conway, man, is just another type of. Oh my gosh, man.
Okay, but think about it like this. Both from North Little Rock, obviously.
Yeah.
And we grew up. One of the main roads in North Little Rock
Mm-hmm.
is John F. Kennedy Boulevard.
Yeah.
Where the heck would you put a roundabout on that road? That is one of the busiest roads in central Arkansas.
I could see McCain. You could go McCain.
There's just, it's just.
Replace the one that moves to one.
Could you get away with it? That's my thing. Could you actively get away with it and it be good?
I almost would prefer a roundabout to the one that leads to 107. You know what I'm talking about?
107
From JFK down to 107. You know what I'm talking about?
107 is JFK.
It split.
Oh, going into Sherwood.
Yeah,
Is
going
that
into
what you mean?
Sherwood.
Yeah,
107,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, where the McDonald's is. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I could. I would be okay with one there.
Yeah.
Because that light sucks.
Yeah. But those are also extremely busy intersections.
True.
And it's easier to get stuck at a roundabout than it is to get stuck at a stoplight.
Yeah, I could see that.
Run up the middle by Leandre Johnson on second down. Pretty good pickup for the Tigers. I have a bad opinion about roundabouts. That is true.
I hate
You
'em.
love roundabouts? Are you insane? Are you okay? I mean, you're right. They're safer than stoplights. And if you're wondering, for those of you at home who I'm having a conversation with, I'm not just talking to myself, talking to our director.
Chris is just speaking to the air, actually. Wow.
Did you see number 20?
Yeah, that's what I was saying wow to, man.
I was like, what is he doing?
He was sprinting for
He was
it.
sprinting for a block. The play was dead. He was ready to go set a big block on somebody. Now it's 4th and short for the Tigers. They could definitely get this with their momentum so far running the football. 13 minutes left to play in this game. Still a big lead by the Kings. The Tigers could change the tides right here. Moten stepping back to pass. Oh, he's going deep. Caught!
Oh, that's a great
Savannah.
catch.
Big hit, but what a grab by Briosian Savannah. There are a couple people in the other booths in the press box that really like that play. That was a
It was a
pretty
good
solid-
catch. It's a
that
good
was
catch.
a great catch, great grab,
And a good
clutch
tackle,
play
though.
on 4th down.
Good tackle, though, as well.
So, in other basketball news outside of the NBA, something that's a little bit more central to, well, Arkansas, is the Arkansas basketball rankings All-Star game, which I think, is this the first year that they've done this? Or is this, okay, because I know the AAA used to do one, and they're done with that now. So now it's Arkansas basketball rankings. The East versus West is playing. I don't know who's on who, but the East is up 103 to 90.
That's impressive, actually.
It is an all-star game.
That is a true
That is
all-star
true.
game.
It is an all-star game. So now I know there were some stars on that team, and it was all seniors because our very own Luke Moore from the Tiger
Yeah,
Sports Network,
GOAT,
he was
bro.
also on that team.
The GOAT.
Hey, UCA. I mean, well, we're in UCA country
Just
right
up the
now.
road.
Yeah, just up the road. Hey, if any UCA Bear fans are watching, you better be watching men's basketball this year because Luke Moore, I know you guys lost Lane Taylor.
But you gained
That's-
Luke Moore.
You get Luke Moore, who is an excellent player who can play that point guard position very well.
And he's not just a scorer, man.
No, he's not.
He
He's
is,
a
He is such a good passer as well.
And later in the year, I was like, he's an average 3-point shooter.
Oh, he got better.
He stretched his range out so much. It was just great. But I know there were a lot of other players in that game. I think Terrion Burgess, who I think is like the top uncommitted player in Arkansas, was playing in that game out of Benton. I think Harrison Pickett was his teammate also playing in that game. Really good player from Hot Springs who's committed to UAPB. His Jay Sean Hayes, that's right. I hadn't heard anything about Burgess.
A-State athletics is falling apart.
Well, yeah, a little
They just
bit.
lost their AD as well. To Learfield.
Oh, and I just got
Where is Learfield?
Learfield? I have no idea. That's a great question. I always hear it, and I've never known Learfield. So is there,
Wait.
is Learfield like a location, or is it? No, it's not a location.
No, that's what I thought.
Huh. Well, when I've listened to it, I've heard from Learfield, and it's like, where is Learfield? I've never heard of Learfield. Well, that makes more sense. So,
Okay, I was right, though. He's just working for Learfield. He didn't even go to another AD position.
Who, Jeff
Jeff Purinton.
Purinton?
That'd be the old AD of Arkansas State Athletics. That's a deep pass.
That's going to be a pass from Blackman, and couldn't come up
I
with
thought
the
he was going to
reception.
have that one, though.
That was just right out of his hands. Good defense by the defensive back. But speaking of that particular all-star basketball game, the West versus East squad, such a great crew going at it. Cortland Muldrew from the West, he's committed to the University of Washington out of Springdale Harbor. Isaiah Seeley, a future Arkansas Razorback coming out of Springdale, competing in that game. Joshawn Hayes, Marcus Britt Jr. out of Forest City, Carter Holland from Clinton, Jackson Conley also from Harbor, Amari Neal, a future Georgia Southern, I guess they're Eagle or something out of Tuckerman, Andre Barnes, that guy, oh my goodness. I know you were there for both the North Florida games. That was a guy that just killed us, killed the Tigers every time. He was cold. The Marion Ball from Jacksonville. Oh, he's a really good football player. I remember him, my time with the Senators. Zaylen Rowland from Mills. Kyle Gill, pretty good player from Little Rock Southwest. Stephen Toston, and then somebody from Texas. There's two guys from Texas. I don't know what they're doing in an Arkansas All-Star game. But from the East, Luke Moore kind of leading the way. And it was the East up on the West, right? Yeah, East was up on the West. I'm going to say that was all Luke Moore's doing. But a couple of Maumelle Hornets on that team, Jace Tillman, Mark-Alon Rochelle. Mark-Halen Rochelle. Harrison Pickett, Terrion Burgess from Benton, Kellen Robinson from Bryant, R.J. Newton from Bryant, PJ Davis from Sylvan Hills, Michael Stewart from East End, Cedric Jones from Maumelle, so 3 Maumelle guys, and Mitchell Morris from Little Rock Christian, as he's going to be brought down on the field right there. So pretty good all-star game going on. That's about over, so you have to stay right here. There's nothing else for you to watch. You have to watch Arkansas King football with a big lead over the Louisiana Tigers with just 8:32 left to play in the ball game.
And a lot of this for the Tigers, man. Again, that running game just never got established fully.
Not really.
You know, had a couple, random. Okay, here's the, here's a small hole. Get up 5 yards, or just under 10, or whatever it may be. But nothing ever really started. Nothing ever really got going for them, so it didn't feel like, they ever really had a grasp on what they wanted in their offense for sure.
Moten remains the quarterback for the Tigers, looking to just try to gather a few good plays, string together a few good plays, and almost another interception, that time by Craig Westbrooks. And I talked about him earlier, but maybe I jinxed it.
Okay, so I guess it's under the direction on the field to keep the clock running.
So the clock will remain running for the rest of the game, according to the officials. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily a mercy rule, like our director is saying. Yeah, coaches might be saying, let's speed this thing along. You got to wonder if the Tigers are staying in Conway or if they're headed back to Shreveport tonight.
I would hope not.
I would hope not. That's about a 5-hour drive, just about. I mean, because I don't even know. I wouldn't know how long it takes, but I know there's some nice hotels in Conway, at the very least in Little Rock. So Moten with another deep pass and just a little ahead of his wide receiver. I think that might have been Preston. Just haven't been able to hook up today. They've been close a couple of times, just not quite consistently. Well, if you are still with us, thank you for sticking around during this major victory. You can say it's a victory, running clock with 5 minutes left. I'm pretty comfortable saying that. The Tigers haven't scored this entire half, and it's been all King football so far in the second half of play. But again, thank you for joining us here on the Natural State Sports Network. And it's been a fun night. Our first Arkansas King football game. Maybe we'll be back this season. Who knows? Moten stepping back. He's going to step up. He's going to run off to the right. He's going to take it himself, and he'll get the first down, tripped up. It might be a face mask on the field, and maybe that's why the penalties on the field. This clock stops for now with 5:14 left to play in the quarter. Yeah, it will be face mask. Excuse me. Face mask on the defense. So an automatic first down for the Tigers. I mean, it was going to be a first down one way or another, but they get a few more yards in return. Of course, we're still a lot of the starters on the defensive side of the ball are on the field for the Kings, and still the starters for the Tigers on offense. But if the Kings have another offensive possession, it will be from mostly their backups. We're getting some important snaps tonight. Moten. Deep again, just over the head of Savannah.
They've had a couple of those, couple very, very close throws, and those deep throws where you're trying to get them in motion or in stride, I should say, just not landing.
Four minutes left to play in this ball game. 32-6 is still your score here at Young Wise Memorial Stadium on the campus of Hendrix College. Looks like Brioshin Savannah just walked off the field.
I think
For
he
the
was on the.
Tigers.
I think he was on the other side, and couldn't get across the field in time.
Maybe
So went off the other sideline and is going around.
Well, but he's a starting receiver. Why is he leaving the field, though? Well, he's still on the field. He's cutting across. Technically, that should be a penalty. Officials didn't notice. Moten with a deep throw again. Intercepted.
Cannot tell.
Intercepted
Yes,
by
it
the
is.
Kings. Guess who? Ja'Kalen Jackson. Second interception of the ball game.
Surprised that there have not been more of those, because some of these passes have been very errant, and finally one fell into Jackson's hands. Well, the second
finally,
one.
yeah, first of the fourth quarter possibly, but yeah, that great grab by Jackson, wrestling it away from the receiver, and I believe that's interception number 4 on the evening. So the Kings will have probably just one more offensive possession with 3:10 left to play in the half, or in the ball game. So Blackman, the quarterback for the Kings. He'll step back, the lefty looking to run now. And he'll get the first down for the Kings. Taking it upon himself to get some momentum for this second unit for the home squad.
Just about to the 2-minute mark left in this game, and the Kings have they've dominated this entire game. I mean, that's about the way to say it.
Yeah, especially this half. I mean, the defense has been stifling. I mean, absolutely. I mean, you're lucky if you get a completion against this defense, especially whatever Coach Bowie said in that. I didn't really go into the locker room, but in the halftime, during halftime, whatever he said worked because.
Oh, we have 20 minutes left now, apparently.
Oh, we have 20 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. It's going to be a lot longer of a game. Okay, there we go. 2 minutes. 1:55. All right, that's what we're about to be at. 150 apparently. All right. Well, that's close enough. Would like to see Blackman kind of get a few completions here for the Kings. And he's dropped back. Actually, that was not Blackman at quarterback. Can't tell what number that is. Oh, the Kings fumbled. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I
It was
couldn't even
under
tell.
the crowd of people, but the Kings fumbled the football. So the Tigers will have the football now.
It's a little too much too late.
Yeah, right
but
inside the red zone. Are you sure? A minute 43. Could be comeback time. Hey, Tracy McGrady had a really good run in, 30 seconds and
It was a
13 points or something like that?
13 points in like 11 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Now, granted, this is not basketball, but
Okay, y'all, let's go. We got a minute 43. Let's get this over with. Louisiana better just run the ball. They don't need to be trying to throw the ball here. Ready, two. Take two.
as far as I can tell, Moten remains the quarterback for the Tigers. Someone sneezed in the press box, so bless you.
I bet they appreciated that.
Two receivers on either side for the Tigers. High snap, Moten running left. He''s going to take it himself. He might be able to find the end zone. He won't. He was brought down. I think someone might have grabbed a clump of his hair and brought him down just shy of the end zone. So he's inside the 5-yard line. Actually, maybe right on the 5-yard line. Excellent opportunity for the Tigers to get possibly one more score before the end of the game.
Maybe just some morale booster going into the next game.
You gonna run the clock? That's not.
And
Great throw and a great catch.
did he grab that touchdown? Tigers, what a grab in the back of the end zone. That might be Preston. Can't tell the number from here, but I believe that might be, that looks like a 6. LaMarcus Preston, if that is a number 6, then that is the first time that Moten and Preston have connected in the end zone today. That's one of his favorite targets. He just really hasn't been able to get to him tonight, and finally did. Too little, too late, though. Now Moten and the offense will stay on the field for the 2-point conversion. Under a minute left in the game. Running for his life is Moten. He somehow got away from the tackles, and that 2-point conversion is good. How in the world did he get away with that? Moten. He's had a rough game for the most part, but two of his completions into the end zone have been remarkable plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the touchdown to Savannah in the first half, I mean, he had a great throw to Preston just a little while ago, but connecting on the 2-point conversion, incredible play. And I think that was Monkez Moore with a catch in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Now, taking a look at what is next for not the Tigers, for the Arkansas Kings. They do not play until May. It's May 3rd. They play at 7 p.m. versus the Northeast Arkansas Galaxy in Northeast Arkansas. Is it in Northeast Arkansas? Because I know we're broadcasting that game.
May 3rd is
May.
our next broadcast.
Yes, but where is it?
That's at War Memorial.
Okay, at War Memorial. So not in Northeast Arkansas, but the Galaxy will come down to Central Arkansas. It's a neutral site game for both of these teams.
No, home game for the Kings. War Memorial and here are both home.
Oh, so the Kings have
Two
home.
home.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I know the Rangers play at War Memorial. Yeah. Huh.
Shout out to the Arkansas Rangers.
Yeah, the Arkansas Rangers. You know they have a gift.
Little Rock Rangers. Sorry, they do have a
They have a gift shop right there on Cantrell.
like just open too.
Yeah. I'm just like, wow. Okay.
You're down by 18.
44, just under 45 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Well, again, if you're an Arkansas King fan, you're going to have to wait till May 3rd for your next King football game, as they don't play until, well, I said the 3rd, at War Memorial Stadium against the Northeast Arkansas Galaxy.
And the kickoff finally happens.
Yeah, well, and it's going to be a penalty, so going to have to wait a little bit longer, but a penalty. Kick went out of bounds. The Tigers will have the football just a little farther back. Going to kick again, though. It's been a fun night for King fans, as got to see their team dominate on both sides of the ball, especially on defense. And first time, actually, they got to see their team this season. I mean, they've had some preseason games, but their first regular season game of the year that was not a forfeit. And they're going to head into the May 3rd contest 2-0 on the year. Good vibes on the sideline for the Kings. Cadillac Simmons dancing. A lot of Kings just smiling, happy to get this victory in front of this home crowd. A lot of people's families are here. Saw a few of the players headed every now and then to chat with their family members, and who either have traveled to see them play. I mean, a lot of these players are not from Conway. A lot from Little Rock, a lot from Pine Bluff, a few from Jonesboro. So it's family coming to watch them play. Always great to see. Friends as well. And maybe even some Tiger fans and family in the stadium as well.
They go ahead and kneel it.
Yeah, they're going ahead to take the one final kneel down, and that will do it. So the Arkansas Kings come away with the 32-14 victory over the Louisiana Tigers. They are now 2-0 on the season, and the Tigers, the back-to-back TLC champs, fall to 0-1 on the year. Well, Will, I got to ask, MVP of this game.
Give it to Cadillacs.
Offense, defense. Let's make it interesting.
We'll give it. Ooh.
Offense kind of interesting.
Offense is pretty interesting, but I think I would just go ahead and have to give it to CJ James, just based on he had a very good understanding of what he wanted to do on the offensive side he's on the offensive side of the ball, but you know what I'm saying. He always knew kind of the right play. He knew his scrambling looked amazing tonight, and obviously on defense, I mean, you have to give it to Courtney Cadillac Simmons, man. He is an absolute unit and played his absolute heart out. Multiple tackles. I say multiple. That is an understatement of his direct impact.
Probably up over 10 tackles.
Absolutely. So, yeah, so CJ James and Cadillac Simmons have to be my two MVPs for offense and defense.
For my offense, I mean, James was outstanding, especially in that first quarter. I mean, the defense was really telling the story throughout the next three. But on offense, for me, it had to be Don Bone because of the way that he was able to play. He got some handoffs, got some catches, found the end zone once as well. So he made some great plays. And then on the defensive side, you know, just to make it a little bit different, I got to go with Ja'Kalen Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
2 interceptions in the ball game. pick six as well. So he had a fantastic performance. You know, kind of like Simmons, it's kind of hard to vote against him, but him and Ja'Kalen Jackson were outstanding. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in to this Arkansas King football production of the Natural State Sports Network. Really had a lot of fun here tonight at Hendrix College. Hope to be back at some point in the future, but until then, be safe out there. Have a great evening, and go Kings!